Let me ask the question I think on everyone's mind. What comes next? We know there's individual plans that have been struck at all three of the big automakers in Detroit. How far away are we from layoffs as other plants really run out of the parts?
Well, David, first I want to say I'm extremely disappointed and frustrated that we're even on a strike. We didn't need to get here. General Motors has an exceptionally strong offer on the table. It's historic. It's the largest increase from a wages perspective in our 115-year history, along with world-class health care benefits and many other provisions, job security, et cetera, and a COLA adjustment. So when you look at the strength of the agreement we have on the table, we really don't need to be here. Yes, they have one plant down right now, and it'll impact three very important products. Two brand new, our Chevrolet Colorado and our GMC Canyon, both mid-size pickups that are in strong demand, as well as our Chevrolet cargo van that does exceptionally well in the market. So this is having an impact, and we'll have to see where they go next. I will say we're ready for this. As we've dealt with COVID and dealt with the semiconductor shortage, as well as other supply chain challenges that have continued to persist from COVID. Our team knows how to manage these situations. They're staying agile, and we're going to do what's right for the company. We're going to make sure everyone stays safe. But this is a strike that didn't need to happen.
Mary, as you say, you've made an offer already for a rather substantial increase in wages. It's not what the UAW wants. Implicitly, you've agreed that they do need and deserve some increase in wages. But is this about more than that? Is this existential in a sense for the auto companies in terms of your need to move into electric vehicles, and from the UAW's point of view, that they believe that, in fact, moving to EVs will actually cut the workforce by as much as 40%?
Well, you're absolutely right. This is a once-in-a-century transformation we're in the middle of moving from internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles. And at GM, we're at a very pivotal point because we have so many electric vehicles ready to launch, in the process of launching. And this is important to securing all of our futures. We need to get these vehicles out. We need to, they're wonderful vehicles. We've got waiting lists for most of them, or orders already in place. So it's important that we meet that demand. And one thing from a General Motors perspective, from job security, we have jobs for all of our people as we make this transformation. More than 2 years ago, we started planning for this. And one of the reasons General Motors invested in doing our own power units, which is a component that's very important on an electric vehicle, we designed them internally, and we are now allocating that production to the plants that build internal combustion vehicle engines right now. So we have worked very carefully to have a job for everyone so we can make this transformation together. And frankly, when you put have a strike and we're not making vehicles, you start to put that at risk. So it's a historic transformation. We need to make sure we can compete, and we need the company to be profitable because those profits get invested in new products that, again, it's a circle of when we invest in a new product, there's demand for that product from consumers that provides the jobs because we're building those vehicles in our plants. We need to invest in our future, and we have a plan to take all of our employees along. I think this is very important. So that concern there's not a place for them is not true at General Motors.
If, Mary, you were to find it in your heart to come close to what they demand, to accept it, what would it mean for the future of General Motors? You've just come out of bankruptcy 15 years ago, as I recall.
I think that's a very important point, because if we can't invest in new vehicles, which we need to be profitable to do that, then we're not going to have a strong future. And David, you know extremely well, this is a very competitive industry. There's new entrants that are not represented by the UAW that already had a lower wage structure. So we need to compete. I'm really proud of our manufacturing team, the way they managed through COVID, the way that they have worked and been very agile as we've dealt with all the supply chain shortages, and the fact that for the last 2 years, between our engineering and our manufacturing teams, they've delivered world-class quality as recognized by J.D. Powers. We have a strong team. We want to do everything in our power to win the future, secure their future, and lead for the next 115 years. We need to be able to do that.
Mary, are the negotiating teams meeting today, to the best of your knowledge? And by the way, are you participating directly in any way?
I have been participating. I've been involved since before July 18th, when the talks kicked off. I've been on call more than once a day, calls, texts, meetings, and I have been at the main table myself over the last few days. I'll continue to be extremely involved. Our team's ready. They're there waiting to negotiate. So, you know, my request is the UAW leadership needs to get back to the table so we can get these problems solved, get our people back to work. I think another important point is for every job that General Motors has, there's 6 more jobs in the economy that depend on us running. So this is broader than just General Motors. This is important for the plant cities especially, but really for the nation.
Yeah, we talk about 150,000, potentially it's a lot more than that, to your point there. Lastly, Mary, I'm mindful of the fact that your father was a tool and die maker at Pontiac, when my father was a tool and die maker at AC Sparkplug, just some 30 miles apart. You and I, and as young people, have gone through UAW strikes, different from this one, but we've gone through them. What do you think our fathers, if they were with us today, what do you think they'd say to each other about what we're seeing right now?
Well, I think my father would say, as he looked at the historic deal that we put on the table, that the company is committed and wants to recognize our employees for their hard work and wants to make sure they have a secure future. So I think he would look at this offer, and if it was on the table for him to vote, he'd vote yes.